And we're live. Welcome back. Episode 6. We've been doing this for a month and a half of Tuesday rehearsals. Let's everybody go round robin and introduce yourselves. I'm John from RockBranded. Tony?
I'm Dave from Rabid Gorilla.
And I'm Tony. I'm also Cooperstone Badge, the Reverend Cooperstone Badge. From the Church of the Holy Rollers.
And this is Tuesday rehearsals where we pick out 3 songs to discuss, and we have a little discussion about it, and then it pretty much, I mean, that's basically all we do. We talk about the songs, and we talk about everything else. This week we're doing things a little different, though. We picked out songs for one another to review.
Pretty good idea, I thought.
Yeah.
Guess whose idea it was?
Was it your idea, Dave?
No.
Good work, Tony. Good work.
It's like if he were like the payroll manager right now, he'd be giving himself a raise, you know, and a promotion.
Bonus time.
Oh yeah. Well, this week the category is summer songs, since it's getting close to the summer, and it's June 1st today that we're recording. I think it'll be uploaded on June 7th, I believe, or June 8th. Or actually, I'm sorry, it'll be uploaded on June 2nd. That's right. We're doing a quick turnaround this week. So, and summer songs, and I picked Tony's song, Tony picked Dave's song, and Dave picked my song. So I don't know who's going to go first. I'm going to say, Tony, you want to go first?
Right, sure. Okay. So you picked for me, you picked Childish Gambino, and the name of the song is Feels Like Summertime.
Yeah.
Which actually is not as bad as I thought it would be. It was better than I thought it would be. It could be better, you know, but it's pretty good. It's got, you know, a nice little thing to it. The lyrics are pretty cool. I just I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, maybe, you know, I miss live bands. I like live music. I like people to actually play their instruments and not just have it piped in from some random computer. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good. Can you tell me why you picked that song?
Well, oddly enough, I was just listening to it, and I'm a big fan of Childish Gambino. I recently found out that Childish Gambino is Donald Glover, and I just thought that Donald Glover was tight with him and starred in a couple of his videos at first, and then
yeah,
I realized, like, oh, wait a second, this is actually Donald Glover doing this stuff. I've recently gotten into watching Community. I think I'm in like season 4 or something like that right now. And I'm beginning to appreciate like just like his whole persona. Like, he's a good actor, he's funny, he's a comedian, he's a good musician. So
he also wrote for 30 Rock.
Oh, did he?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Huh.
That makes sense.
I think he made a guest star on it.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. I mean, I've seen him in a ton of stuff. He's just got that face that it's like, I know he's been in a lot of different things. He's got one of those faces that...
Lando Calrissian.
Yep, exactly. He was the new Lando Calrissian.
That's right. Yeah. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Which is very...
Anyway, I did like the song, and I'm planning on doing a reaction video, but I'm having trouble with the editing. So
right.
We'll see how that goes.
So, well, you just use my editing style and just, like, you know, record it and upload the whole thing, and then.
You know, I want to put it in a corner over here and then have me reacting to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. But you know, I'm trying to use free software to do it, so
right.
You get what you pay for.
Right. So
pay for nothing.
I know, right? So got to do all that hard work and grinding yourself, you know. So.
Yeah.
Kind of like we do here at this high tech podcast we have going on here. So, but so I guess
I'd like to throw in my 2 cents, but to be honest with you, I didn't listen to it. I'm sorry. It's been a busy week. I listened to my song, but I forgot to listen to that one.
Yeah. And what was your song, Dave?
My song was "Summertime" by Janis Joplin.
Oh, okay. So
And
I actually didn't listen to that song either. So
it's
the
a
only
good
song.
Check it out. Thank you, Tony, for turning me on to that because I hadn't really listened to it before. It sounded kind of familiar, but I never really acknowledged it before.
Well, it's a very old song, of course, but you know, Janis is Janis.
Yeah. Oh, it was really good. But I did some Wikipedia research, and it was a George Gershwin tune originally.
Right, right.
And from Porgy and Bess.
Huh.
And it's a very sultry, late August, hot summer night song.
Yeah.
It's not a June 1st song.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's more like late July, early August, and you know, like the crocodiles, the gators are coming out of the swamp.
Exactly. Yeah. And your mom is so hot. Oh, she's so hot. No, it was a really good song, though. I'm glad I listened to it, and I'll listen to it again.
I'm glad I chose that one for you because you were going to get a Tom Waits song.
Oh, what? The Tom Waits?
Yeah.
I'm glad you did too, then.
Oddly enough, you know, moms are where it's at right now. Like, you know, hot moms are like, who knew Janice had that much foresight that, you know, hot moms are where it's at these days, you know? So
We call them MILFs.
yes. MILFs, and if they're without children, they're called cougars. So
Right.
I prefer cougars myself.
But
I don't like Rugrats.
You don't like what?
Rugrats.
Right. The good thing is, though, like once they get past a certain age, they can work the farm for you, Tony.
Bring them in the cult.
Right? Yeah. Manual labor, cheap labor. That's how I look at it. So, oddly enough, the song that Dave picked for me, the only song I listened to this week was the song that I picked for Tony, actually.
Did you guys not do any work at all this week?
Oh, yeah. That's all I did.
This podcast.
What are you, jobs or something?
Not like there was any other distractions going on in the world today.
Oh, yeah.
This week.
I don't know, like riots in the city of Boston and stuff like that. And
Deadly virus threatening the world.
Yeah. It's like, you know, but regardless, here we are. We're traipsing through it. We launched this podcast right around the beginning of the virus.
Yeah.
I think that was when we started the first episode, and now we're like about 6 weeks in. They're starting to reopen a few things right now, but obviously the riots are happening. So I think we might have another second wave that everyone's been talking about of the
undoubtedly
virus coming up. So
yeah.
But
let's hope they don't burn the hospitals down.
Yeah, you know, hopefully here's the thing. Like I'm all for peaceful protesting and everything. I'm all for people like, you know, voicing their opinions. But I think that the people who are doing the burning, the rioting, and the looting are more opportunistic than they are out for a cause. Personally,
yeah, absolutely.
I don't think they care one way or another about the poor guy who was killed in Minnesota. I think that they're more just using that opportunity to get some free shit and rob some places and just do some destruction. And that's it, you know, and I think it looks bad for the people who are actually protesting and actually have a voice. And
well, unfortunately, there are bad people in every group. And then there are bad people who take advantage of groups.
It's like we have Tony.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know,
I do like to smash shit.
Yeah. I mean, I do too. I get it. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that there are some people who just are like, you know, very heated and very passionate, and they're probably like out there and, you know, they're getting pepper sprayed and whatnot. And then they're going to fight back. And, you know, and if that's the case, I mean, in a lot of cases, I think the police need to like act with a little more discretion in some of those cases as well. I think there's as much of the violence is coming from the side of the police who are trying to maintain the peace as the people who are just actually protesting. So
there's a lot of bad eggs out there.
It's a messy situation.
Anyway,
avoid discussing it.
Let's rope ourselves back in because we
Right.
didn't get to John's song.
That's true. That's
Well,
true.
Well, as I was saying, the only
He's
song
about to tell us he didn't listen to it.
I didn't. Well, I mean, I've heard the song a million times before. It's "Saturday in the Park" by Chicago.
Yeah.
It's definitely an old standard. So I mean, so I didn't have to do too much homework on it. I think I've had enough experience with the tune, just walking into this blind. But I got to say, one thing I'm not a huge fan of Chicago, and I've heard that song probably a million times. And one thing that strikes me most about that song, it strikes me as the type of a song that whoever wrote the lyrics to it basically just wrote a stream of consciousness of what happened to him that Saturday in the park. Because if you listen to the lyrics, it's like he's probably high or something like that. And it's a Saturday in the park. It must have been the 4th of July. Could have been the 4th of July.
It might have been.
May have been.
It was.
May have been. There's not a lot of certainty as to whether it's the 4th of July or not. Secondly, there's like people laughing, people singing, man selling ice cream. It's like, he's describing what he's seeing in the park. It's like,
it is kind of Sesame Street, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very lazy song work.
Yeah.
I didn't pick it because it's my favorite.
It's almost
song.
like experimental, almost like James Joyce's Ulysses is like a stream of consciousness. Like Ulysses is like basically he just wrote down everything he saw in one day, right? From what I've heard, So
now, John's not a big fan of Chicago anyway.
No,
I think one of the
Neither am I.
I think one of the
Neither
band
am I.
members kicked him in the face.
song
Was it
encapsulates
Peter Cetera kicked him in the face at a concert, and but
that was Dickie Barrett.
But I told him to go listen to 25, 6 to 4.
25, 6, 2, 9, 4, 8.
That is the Chicago
9.
jam. That song fucking rocks.
I haven't had a chance to listen to that either. I've been
You lazy.
You've heard it.
Well,
I've read that story. I read the fucking story you sent me. I read the link that you sent me, and you don't listen to the song that I sent you.
Yeah, well, I know. I have a good excuse. I have a good reason. It's because I'm
a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah, but that's one. That's one reason. So
I know you're working.
I think that just kind of goes without saying.
You and your hustles, always hustling.
Well,
Dave with his, I gotta have a job, work, and live.
I mean, I'm hoping that we turn this podcast into like another stream of income or like just promotions for us as well. So
let's just make it stream of consciousnst.
Exactly.
I see a light over there and a keyboard right here.
Already.
A man selling ice cream.
Wait, you got a guy selling ice cream over there?
I know, right? He's right there. Where did that come from? There were some people singing. There were some people dancing. It's like
singing Italian songs.
But
it is a summer song, however. It was a good choice for a summer song.
Yes.
Well, I was going to do a Jane's Addiction song, "Summertime." You probably know that one too, but
I might.
That's a better song by every stretch, but I don't think it encaptures summer quite as.
Yeah. See, I was going to pick a song, a Tom Waits song that I equate with summertime, but he doesn't actually mention summertime. So
then that would have disqualified you.
See, that's why I didn't pick it. Not because I cared that you don't like Tom Waits, because I'm gonna force you to listen to Tom Waits eventually. But
great!
But
something to look forward to.
It's a song that it's a very summer-like song for me because it's about a barbecue. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But anyway, I followed the rules.
You did good, Tony.
I
really like that song you sent me, the Janis Joplin one. I listened to it twice. I listened to the studio and I listened to the live one that you sent me.
Which one do you prefer?
The live one was much better.
I thought
it was
so.
Really, really good.
Yeah. She just put so much into her performances.
She's got one of those voices too. It's like it's not like a classically good voice, but it's like you just tell that she's like really, puts a lot of heart and soul into what she's singing. So
Passionate. Yeah.
So big ups to Janice, and if anyone's listening or watching out there, and it's in these uncertain times, Tuesday rehearsals is there for you. So
yeah, we don't get too much into bullshit.
I think it's all bullshit anyway. You know what I mean? It's like half the songs that we don't even play the songs that we're talking about.
No,
You know
I wish we could
just
though.
kind of get on and have a conversation. So
I wish we
The reason for that is copyright infringement.
Right. Definitely copyright infringement. And like all this content that we're talking about right now, it's like it's all ours. We're just talking about, unless, I mean, I'm sure
songs can easily be Googled.
Yeah, just Google them. It's like I don't think people are listening to really hear our opinion on the songs. I think they're more listening to just get the banter that we have back and forth and whatnot. So
I thought they just wanted to look at me.
well, of course they do. The genius behind Archie,
They want to see what kind of hats we're wearing this week.
Yeah, that's what it was.
All right, I'll do it.
There you go.
I'm wearing 2 masks.
Dave's got a backup mask. So
Doctor.
Agent Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine. Agent Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine. So
Ooh, look at the crowds.
What's that?
He's doing Curly.
Love Curly. Curly carried those guys. He did.
Shemp does not get enough credit.
Shemp.
I hated Shemp when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But he just may be a fucking pure genius of the whole fucking thing.
Really?
Really? Well, that's another podcast.
I guess so, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say anything so controversial.
He was actually maybe we should do that. Maybe we should like, which stooge are you? The next podcast. Which stooge do you most identify with? Could be the original 3 or like Curly Joe or any one of them.
Oh, fuck Curly Joe. Nobody better pick Curly Joe.
How about next week we review the Curly Shuffle?
All 3
you
of
guys
us?
Remember the Curly Shuffle?
I do remember the Curly Shuffle.
All right. Yeah, we all do one song.
No, the Curly Shuffle was a Dr. Demento kind of song about the 3 Stooges. It was you gotta watch it. You gotta hear it.
Oh no, I'm familiar with the song, but we could just all do a discussion.